Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew here with Ambient Endeavors, and today we're going to dive right in with 5 problems that the Line6 HELIX is still solving in 2024. So first off, I've been working with Line6 along with their parent company Yamaha for a few years now. Hopefully that doesn't come as a surprise to you, but if you're just getting this video in your feed and clicking in, I want to make that clear. I've been doing sponsored projects for them, doing videos and photo work, and I've really enjoyed getting to work with them. They're some of the best people in the industry, but I don't agree to say certain things in my videos about their products. I don't have any scripts that I'm reading. There's no angle from them that's being funneled through me. I feel a lot of freedom to just kind of talk about my experience with their products. Most of which I've had largely positive experiences with. So that's the same for this video. They're sponsoring a string of videos with Helix. They sent it over to me to use and to include in videos, but there's no agenda. There's no prefab messaging from Line6. It's just sort of an open charge to do a few videos to kind of show this product to you, explain how I use it in my workflow, and just enjoy making sounds and finding new applications with it. So that's disclosure number 1. And along with that, my whole ethos around doing these types of videos and any video that you see on the channel is really one of a couple things to get you to pick up your guitar or your instrument, plug in some pedals and an amp or whatever, and just play. Write a song, explore new sounds, grow or develop in your instrument to the level that you want to, and have fun with it. That's sort of what I've been able to do for a couple decades now, and I'm really fortunate to be in that position where a lot of what I get to do is really fun, and I want to just sort of cast that invitation onto you to use YouTube and other resources to inspire and encourage you to grow and to create and to continue on in your musical journey. So that's my main goal. Along with that, when we talk about specific products, I really don't care about selling you the product, especially these products that come in this type of arrangement. I would rather have this be an opportunity to explain and showcase the product for what it's capable of doing, some of the pros and cons to it, and then have you feel more informed when you're going about buying gear or thinking about how to change or add things to your rig. So I hope that this is a way to help you feel more informed, help you feel more knowledgeable in your shopping. And if that means that this is the product you end up with, awesome. If you're going in a different direction because this doesn't seem like it's for you, that's awesome too. I don't get any sort of royalties or kickbacks or anything if you buy one of these or don't. So I'm just going to kind of share some of my thoughts and perspectives on the Helix and why, as I've been able to play it and learn it over the last handful of months, it's really become something pretty compelling, something fun, something inspiring, and something I think for a certain subset of you individuals would be really useful and really cool. I'm going to break this video up a little bit with some sounds and some playing throughout for some sort of intermissions to cut up the talking. But a lot of this is going to be my perspective and some of the opinions that I've kind of gained through playing it, and honestly the way that I've kind of slowly come over to a platform like Helix and its usefulness and its advantages and its value. I really primarily live in other workflows, to be honest. I live in amps through an aux box. I live in a lot of different pedals on the floor, in a pedal board with knobs to turn and things like that. And so when I have live playing opportunities, I generally gravitate towards those. But I think there are 5 compelling reasons why Helix is solving problems for guitarists still in 2024, and we're going to dive in. So the first problem is the scenario where you love trying different effects, different pedals, but really hate rewiring a physical pedal board. This is something that I honestly kind of fall into. I really love playing with different sounds and different effects, but the task of physically putting a board together is fairly tedious to me. I'd kind of rather be doing other things like writing songs or making these videos. And Helix solves that problem. You have all the different effects, all the different amps and functionality in terms of expression and other tangential control that you can get in this box, all in one package. So whether you're creating new signal chains, whether you're adjusting or modifying existing presets, it's all done right here. You don't have to move a cable. You don't have to add or subtract power. You don't have to rearrange a physical board or get a new pedal board for a bigger layout. All of those problems are avoided by Helix because it's all built in, it's all integrated in the interface, and it's all accessible through menus and screens and things like that. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is that the value proposition in some ways in the effects pedal market is kind of waning. A lot of pedals, especially the boutique pedals, are going up in price, but I would say the average price for a really solid boutique guitar pedal is encroaching on the $300 mark. And so if you think about putting together a board of those style of effects with all the different sounds and functionality that you need, you pretty quickly get to a price tag that is pretty elevated. So I'm just going to walk through a hypothetical board build. Obviously, there's so many options, and you could ratchet down your budget to accommodate the sounds and pedals you need at a smaller budget. But if you're going to take some of the traditional sounds and pedals you'd want, perhaps you have a couple overdrive pedals here. You're going to probably want a delay pedal with a few different sounds or more. A reverb pedal for the end of the chain, especially for the ambient stuff that I like doing. And then some sort of amp solution. These types of units from UA are really awesome, become popular. I use them and love them myself, so there's really no knock on them. But it is, for the price tag, still just one element of your rig that you have to consider when putting together a board. And so the line items add up. You get pretty quickly to exceeding or brushing up against the cost of a Helix. At the point of making this video, I believe Helix street price is around $1,500. And so if you look at the total of these pedals we just walked through, you get pretty close to that. And you also have to consider things like pedal boards, power supplies, cabling, tuners, a number of other additions that are not $0. So again, pretty quickly get to or beyond the price of Helix if you're going for a setup that has all the different tools and the different variety of sounds that you'd like. The third problem that Helix solves is inconsistency from gig to gig, or front of house engineer to front of house engineer, or room to room. Helix is a really cool way to really standardize your sounds and your settings, whether it be amp settings, whether it be effects chains, signal chains, but to be able to dial those in using reference monitors or headphones at home and really have the sounds and the settings and the presets that you want going into a gig, and knowing that the sounds that you created and are hearing in your headphones and your monitors at home are going directly to the front of house engineer, to the board, coming out the speakers in a way that's a very similar, if not identical, representation of the presets and sounds you worked really hard to create. That's a problem that Helix solves. In contrast with a rig where you've got an amp that someone's miking, where you've got different pedals with tactile switches that could move if you move your gig bag or brush into them. You have to remember some of those settings on physical pedals. The inconsistencies in rooms and in different environments that create variables for live rigs that have a number of those variables already. That problem's solved in a really cool way with Helix, and you still get a lot of the flexibility of being able to tweak and change those settings, being able to, like I said, create those presets up front at home and know exactly how they're going to sound and translate live in your gigs. The fourth problem that Helix solves still in 2024, and it's a fairly timely one, is sort of the idea of obsolescence, or the idea that as a product ages, it becomes less and less desirable or relevant. Helix and Line6 as a company have done a really good job at keeping this up to date. And I think one of the strengths and values of working with Line6 products and the Helix lineage is just the legacy that Line6 has as a company. It's objectively one of the longest standing modeling companies. They've been at it for decades now, and with that comes a lot of experience, comes a lot of trial and error, comes a lot of expertise from their engineers and technicians and designers that they've leveraged and put into these Helix products, and have continued to refine and update and improve on and add to. So recently there was some new amps added to the amp catalog. They've done some refinements and some cool upgrades and improvements to that whole scheme. They continue to add different sounds and effects on the effects side of things. And so it's not a sterile, stagnant product. It's this kind of dynamic, always innovative, always progressing sort of platform that offers you, with some consistency and some regularity, some new sounds, some new models, and some new additions to the platform in a way that keeps things fresh, in a way that also allows for you to be exposed to new amps and new sounds and new effects and new ways of creating sounds. And I think that's a really cool advantage to Helix, and solves that problem of obsolescence or of stagnancy in the platform. The fifth and final solution, and quite simply the most obvious one, is that it is an all-in-one solution. There are certainly a number of other all-in-one options out there, varying in price from a few $100 to beyond the price of Helix. But in terms of what you get with the specific Helix floor, you have literally everything you would need for your rig. And that allows you to throw it in a backpack and fly overseas and use it. It allows you to show up to church on Sunday and plug in a couple cables and use it. But it really is an advantage and a solution that Helix offers, having the volume or expression pedal here, a number of different buttons and knobs to turn and make tweaks on the fly. You have tuner, you have exhaustive effects libraries, different options for signal routing, a whole smattering of guitar amps, as well as all of those things for bass. So if you're in a studio context, if you're a multi-instrumentalist, you essentially have multiple complete rigs here with Helix, whether you're doing guitar gigs or bass gigs, that you can really easily flex to and easily show up at a gig or a session and plug and play. So those are the 5 problems that I see Helix solving in a really compelling way. Obviously, it's not an inexpensive unit, but I think that there's huge value in it still if this is the type of unit that you're needing or looking for in your playing environments or for your application. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and feedback on any of the 5 reasons I brought up, any of the other advantages, pros and cons that you see to Helix, whether you're using it and love it or want to see something new from it, or whether you're curious about it. Anything in the realm of Helix that you want to engage with, drop a comment below and I'd love to talk. For me, like I kind of mentioned, this is still a pretty big learning curve. It's still a playground that I'm really enjoying playing in, but one that I'm learning and exploring new things pretty much daily. So it's a fun way to kind of come along with you guys on the journey of Helix and get to know it and get to creating some fun sounds with it. Thanks for stopping by. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and look forward to connecting with you down the road. Take care.